Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nathan Adlin here with the Fast Lane car. And it's a very special Fast Lane car because we're doing really sharp vehicles today. More specifically, vehicles that are around $90,000 to $100,000. And I have what I consider the champion of those vehicles. That's right, it is a Lexus LS. This is the pinnacle of comfort. One of the best. Roman brought a truck. Nice pick 'em up truck.
Hey Nathan, guess how much this cost?
120 grand.
Nope, $90,000.
Yeah, that's about the same price as mine.
Yeah, this is new school luxury and that is old man luxury, and that is coming up next on a true TFL car mashup. Nathan, obviously these two cars don't directly compete outside of the fact that they are both $90,000. But the question is, if you had $90K in your pocket, which one would you get?
And that's a really good question. Here's another point. Cadillac can't keep these things on the showroom floor. They sell Escalades like crazy. They're huge in popularity. And even though it is based on a Suburban, we are talking about an incredibly popular vehicle, not just here, but in a few other countries as well. And of course, the Lexus LS. Well, we all know how popular this one is. So both vehicles really do have some history in terms of luxury. But the real question is, yeah, which one would you buy for that type of money? All right, we get it. These are two very different vehicles. I'm not gonna compare how they look, but I will say this. This car is bespoke. This is just an LS. When it was built, it was just an LS. When this baby was built, before it had the spinners with the big 20 whatevers and everything else and that ridiculously large emblem, this is a Suburban. I know this is a Suburban. So, the question is, do you get luxury where you're wafting into something that was built specifically for your $90,000, or are you paying for an upgrade?
Nathan, I completely agree. That is elegant and stylish, but man, this is gangsta. And the question is, which would you rather be? 5 years ago, we did this segment called Does Nathan Fit? And now there are a lot of weasels copying our stuff.
Yeah, a long time ago we started it, and now, well, there's wives in the trunk, and there's girlfriends in the trunk, and there are other people in the trunk. Well, guess what?
Junk in the trunk.
We still do it occasionally, and I represent 2 golf bags and a couple small coolers, but, well, frankly, we just don't do it as often because everybody else does.
So today we're going to start a new segment, and that is Does Nathan and Roman Fit? Let me show you this. Come on over here, Andre. Check this out. With a push of a button, I can fold down the second row, and I can fold down this third row. Look at that. Let me do one more. And of course, fold up the third row. So the question is, does Nathan and Roman fit?
Oh,
I would say, come on, dude. I would say that would be a resounding, oh, yes, look at that.
You can curl up here. Look at that.
I think Andre's fitting here too.
You want to come in here, babushka?
Yeah. Look at that. And we can watch movies.
Yes.
Look at that. How cool is that?
This is one of the largest vehicles in its class, and it's comfortable, even laying on the back side of the seats. It's pretty comfortable.
I think this is one of the largest vehicles, period.
It's big. Let me reintroduce you to the poster child of smooth V8s. This baby here, 4.6 liter V8, 360 horsepower, 347 pound-feet of torque, hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and in this case, all-wheel drive. It is like a fine cigar with the perfect gin and tonic.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. What a cute little engine, huh? Must have little tiny cylinders. 6.2 liters, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-foot of torque. A man's truck, man. And this is the better vehicle, no doubt.
Well, it also weighs about 1,200 pounds more than mine.
All right, so how do we objectively see which of these power plants is better?
Drag race.
You're crazy.
No, let's do it. I mean, why not?
All right. I'll take you on all day long. a good race. That Lexus does 0 to 60 in about 8 seconds. I've also got the Solo DL set up, so I will see how fast this does 0 to 60. He's got about a few, well, car length on me at this point. There we go. Nathan won, and I went 0 to 60 in 9.15. So it's a little slower than the Lexus, but then again, it's a hell of a lot bigger, isn't it? Oh my. Well, Nathan, that was a very close drag race indeed.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised not only how fast this thing went, but when we came to the end, how quickly it stopped. I thought you were going to run off the road.
And run over Andre. I think he had a little bit of fear in his eye.
Yeah, he definitely did. We looked like U.S. sanctions coming right at him.
Now, the Lexus has air suspension, but we've got these adjustable shocks right here, so we can go from sport, which is where we're at not right now. We're in tour. We can go to sport. Since we're on a track, let's go to sport. And that should firm things up a little bit. It's magnetic ride control. And, you know, it does change the character of the car. Obviously, we're not going to flog this thing around a racetrack. People don't do that with these, right? They tow with them. And unlike your Lexus, this will tow 7,900 pounds.
That's not bad. I mean, for such a big vehicle, I'd like it to tow, say, 9,500, 10,000 pounds, but that's still not too bad. And you know what? I know for a fact that the Ford EcoBoost V6, equipped with the brand new Ford Expedition, tows 9,000 pounds.
All right, let's face it, this is the aircraft carrier of old school body on frame SUVs. Look at these wheels. They're 22s, but this thing is so massive, they look like 15s. Now, the new Escalade is more evolutionary than revolutionary. And what I mean by that is there's no batteries hiding underneath here. There's just this new 6.2 liter, which does have cylinder deactivation, giving it a respectable 20 mpg on the highway. Cadillac will point to these lights, which are really cool. And of course, they'll point to the new front fascia of the design language that is Cadillac. I like it. I think it's bold. I think it's in your face. And I think, God damn it, this is America, or America. Well, we're going to go check out the Navigator next month, which directly competes with this, and you'll have to come back for that review. In all, I think they've done a really good job with this Escalade. You know, obviously you can get the Suburban, you can get the Tahoe, you can get the GMC, right?
Yeah.
There's about 15 different flavors of this truck, but to differentiate the Cadillac from its cheaper and, let's face it, less luxurious siblings, they've really put a lot of time and effort into the interior, into the outside headlights.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because this is the top dog in this big, comfortable, traditional body-on-frame SUV. Now, true luxury, Nathan, is all about space. And you have to admit, this has it in spades.
Yeah, you know, I cannot get over how nice the interior looks. These new leathers they're using, these new materials, everywhere I touch, it's remarkably comfortable and it feels very plush. Yeah,
Cadillac has done a great job in adding real wood and using very supple leathers and in making it really nice. I mean, beyond what you'd expect out of an American luxury car.
Yeah, but I will also say this. These seats, the seat back is a little tight. It's a little stiff. The bottom's not too bad. It's good enough for my backside, because baby got back when they're riding in 22s.
And it's very American, right? There's nothing like this really even that competes in Europe. Sure, there are some trucks, I guess, like the Mercedes GL, right? Yeah. And then the Japanese make some of these, but they're not nearly this big, and they're not nearly...
This has presence. This has curb appeal, presence. It's obnoxious in some ways, in many ways. But at the same time, one thing that Cadillac had lagged behind the competition for years was interior design, and they are no longer lagging. This is one of the finest interiors I have seen in a luxury truck, bar none.
Having said that, there is one big demerit, and it's a big one.
Q.
Yeah, exactly. Just not ready for prime time, not intuitive, hard to use, just a difficult all-in-all experience.
Well, older guys like you who have the osteo are trying to reach over and trying to figure out how to use these sliders and everything. And what people really do want in a big luxury vehicle are knobs to turn. And Lexus still has knobs and still has the ability for someone who, let's say, isn't savvy to all this haptic control to use a very simple system, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and you know, the Lexus does have a lot of knobs in it.
All right, look, hey, I'm agreeing with you, though, on the Q system, though, okay? But as for the rest of the vehicle, and once you just, you turn on your golden oldies or whatever and start cruising, the interior, fantastic sound isolation is so much better than it used to be. You can still hear the rumble of the engine. GM knows how to make a V8 that sounds wonderful, and they did a great job on this truck.
And 20 in the highway, and I think it's 14 in the city, is really good thanks to cylinder deactivation.
Yeah, that's impressive.
All right, Nathan, a much different vehicle, much better fuel economy, 16 city, 23 highway. But having said that, that's not that much better than 1420. And considering that's an aircraft carrier that'll, fit a small army of people, and this will fit 4 comfortably, 5 in a pinch.
Now, come on, 5 in a pinch. It'll comfortably seat 5.
Would you want to sit in the middle there?
I don't want to sit in the middle. I'm just saying you can... Blah, 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 blah. I will say this, the interior on this vehicle is always fantastic. Lexus always hits all the marks with their interiors. Starting to feel a little bit old, you know?
A little bit dated, yeah, you can tell.
It's not the question of the design itself. It's just fine. Especially, I love this bamboo style wood thing. This is just fantastic. And yes, real wood, handmade, all that other stuff. But with the Cadillac, it feels a little bit more contemporary, perhaps because it's a fresh design.
This is conservative.
This is very conservative. I love big Lexuses, or Lexi.
Yep. Put in sport for you.
Yeah, please do. It's a different vehicle. It's a different feel.
But having said that, they're both 90K, dude.
Yeah, I know. And we're not comparing them directly. Obviously, we can't do that, but I gotta say that this thing, it isolates you and coddles you and does things that
your wife does.
We won't go there. That's it. Edit. No, but it makes you, as a driver, sort of waft along, but you don't have the command seating that you do in the Escalade, right? So altogether, I'd say that this is one of the best in its class for comfort and for overall refinement. Just in terms of a nice ride.
Yeah, I'll give you that. That car is, well, it's not a car, it's a truck.
But it's
that SUV
car-ish.
Is really nicely done, but there is a sense that it has humbler roots, right?
Yeah.
You feel like that there is a Suburban or a Silverado at some point hiding underneath all that. Whereas this, it doesn't feel that way. This feels like it's a luxury car through and through.
Yeah, and it's not as, I wouldn't say ostentatious. I would say quite as obnoxious as the Cadillac can be. They did a great job styling the Cadillac, but that emblem in the front is literally the size of my head. It's huge, and Cadillac's been doing that because it's what the people wanted. The people who drive that want to put it in your face saying, this is a Cadillac, see? Whereas in this vehicle, you know, it's a Lexus. It's much more subtle. It's just a much more nondescript vehicle in terms of, in a crowd, you wouldn't really point and go, oh, he's got money. You just point and go, oh, he's got taste.
Yes, and this thing obviously does handle better on the track. Both of these aren't that comfortable on the track, even in Sport Plus mode here. They're just not designed. But I think on the Autobahn, this would kind of hunker down, and you'd feel in that Sport Plus setting like it's a little bit more Autobahn worthy. But, you know, that's a tow vehicle, right? That's more likely to be towing a boat. And this is more likely to be, you know, crossing the Autobahn at much higher speeds. So yeah, once again, apples to oranges. But that's what a mashup is, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. But the bottom line is, with $90,000 burning a hole in your pocket, which one would you get? And you know, the Cadillac is really starting to wear in a nice way on me. And
yeah, I'm leaning that way too. There's just a lot of value for your money there. All right, Nathan, so the question we asked at the beginning was a simple one. If you had $90K burning a hole in your pocket, which would you buy?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm surprised I'm going to say it, but I'd get this. You know, this is the ultimate luxury mover. If you have a family, which I do, I can't think of a better vehicle within this price range to move them from point A to point B way up here in Colorado.
You know, and I completely agree with you. I'm a sucker for value, right? This is a beautiful, elegant, stylish, refined, luxurious car, but man, look at the amount of metal, look at the amount of horsepower, look at the amount of space. I mean, this would be a small apartment in Tokyo for actually a medium-sized family. I would get this. Just you get a lot more, well, you get a lot more metal for your money.
Absolutely. And one final thing, General Motors has really upped their game with the interior. I mean, that is one of the nicest interiors I've seen in a truck, period.
As always, this is Roman
and Nathan
saying thanks for watching, and check out tflcar.com for more news, views,
and real-world reviews.
Ciao. You gotta do that. There you go.